Okay. Now we have one way in which we can classify filters. They can be either full flow or bypass flow. Strainers can also be full flow or bypass flow, but in most cases they are full flow. All right, now, so far we've only discussed a single filter or strainer. Now these are called simplex filters or simplex strainers. If a simplex filter has to be replaced, the system it is in must be shut down. Otherwise, when the filter is removed, fluid will spray all over. Duplex filters, however, are designed to allow filter replacement while the system remains in operation. There are actually two filters side by side. Flow can be directed through one filter or the other. This way, one filter will always be in service, while the other can be isolated for cleaning or replacement. But how do you know when filter maintenance is necessary? Well, in a car, you usually replace the filter every so many miles or so many months. Now, this method works okay most of the time, but it does have problems. If there happens to be a lot of dirt or other contaminants in your oil system, the filter could get clogged long before you get around to changing it. What we need is some positive indication that the filter is doing what it's supposed to do. Now, one way this is done in the plant is to measure the pressure drop in the fluid as it goes through a filter or strainer. When a filter element is new, fluid passes through it easily. The pressure at the filter inlet and outlet are almost the same. But as the filter traps more and more particles, not as much fluid can pass through it. The pressure at the filter inlet increases while the outlet pressure drops. The difference between the filter inlet and outlet pressure is called the differential pressure, or dP. Sometimes dP is also called delta P. In any case, it can be read by comparing the filter inlet and outlet pressures. The difference between them is the dP. Sometimes a dP gauge is installed. In this case, differential pressure can be read directly from the gauge. In our simple oil system, a dP gauge is located here. There's a tap upstream of the filter and one downstream of the filter. When a filter is first installed, there will generally be a small differential pressure because the filter element itself does not create much resistance to flow. But as the filter traps more and more particles, the fluid has a harder time passing through the filter element. The dP rises. When the dP reading reaches a particular value specified by the manufacturer, this is a signal that the filter is clogged and should be replaced. One note of caution. Now, when replacing filter elements, always check that you are using the correct filter replacement. The wrong element might react with the fluid, causing the element to fall apart. Checking the dP takes the guesswork out of knowing when to replace a filter. While the filter is in service, the rise in the dP reading tells you that the filter is doing its job. And at a predetermined amount of dP, you know that the filter is becoming too clogged. Now, if the dP reading did not rise while the filter was in service, you might suspect that there was a hole in the filter and that no contaminants were being filtered out. Okay. So far, we've discussed two ways to classify filters and strainers. We said that filters and strainers can be either full flow or bypass flow. And remember, another name for bypass flow is partial flow. And filters or strainers may be either simplex or duplex. Finally, we saw how to use a dP gauge to determine when a filter or strainer needs replacement. Now, when we come back, we'll show you how to remove, clean, and replace the basket of a full flow duplex strainer.